I believe that we are live.
I think we are. Let's just make this bigger.
Oh, great. I just changed this, but yeah, I am live now. Hello to all of you. About to be casting RLCS, but first I need to make sure that it's actually I can find my phone. I'll be right there with all of you once again. Just one sec. Alright, and we are starting now. Let's go, guys. And I will just get the chat. Just get up there. But yeah, we are live now. Let's get some content going. And let's get some Rocket League. Wow. So we got G1 versus Elevate today. We do like to see that. But we also like to see the match about to commence. So we shall be seeing best of 7 today. So, of course, the one team that does win 4 games in a row will be the one that be able to qualify to the main event. This is only the wild card, so both teams, regardless, have to win 5 or 3. They have to win 3 matches out of the 5 that they play against to be able to get into the main event. Because the wild card is like 8 teams go into the main event, and then 16 teams have to go and play in just the wild cards. So the top 8 out of the 16 will go to play against the top 8 who've already qualified. It's a little bit complicated to explain to new viewers, but it's certainly a good event to watch regardless. I'm actually going in a few days to watch it in Germany as well, which is even better, but I think there's some sort of technical difficulty going on here. So we have to wait a minute while they get warmed up. Should be on there. Come on. I think it's just some technical difficulties, so we're going to have to wait a minute. Great. Let's move that in a little bit as well. Hello to everyone once again. Who do you think is going to win, though? Elevate or G1? Let us know. There we go. Is this going to work? Okay, we're still waiting a minute for them to be able to actually start it, because I think there's some sort of technical issue going on right now. So I think there's a little bit of problem with that, but it doesn't matter because we are still on here and we're ready to cast them, of course. Come on, it needs to work in this. Come on, bro. I'm waiting for this stream to get ready. Because not the stream, I mean the match. Because literally the one time we stream is actually crazy. Literally the one time we stream, it just there's technical difficulties. I mean, not necessarily for me, but just for the entire stream in general. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but it doesn't matter. We'll just get ready and waiting for the next match, of course. I mean, this match that's about to commence anytime. So whoever does watch RLCS or doesn't know what it is, let us know and we can maybe help you. But RLCS is the best teams in the world competing for the top prize at the World Championship is 600,000 right now, but in terms of the whole circuit is 6 million, which is absolutely diabolically insane to even see. Still, though, we do have technical difficulties still running on and on, so we're going to have to wait an extra couple minutes for that. Not to worry, though. Just get... And, by the way, people are having a little chat as well. I will see your comments in a minute. I just need to get this sorted out properly. There we go. Alright, we should be starting. Bro. Come on. We want to get content going. Literally. So silly right now that it has to be technical difficulties literally right when we're about to start. It's actually crazy. Hello to all of you in chat once again, though. We're just getting this nice and ready because I feel something good's going to happen. Alright, there we go. That should be alright now. Is my screen... Oh, it is alright. It's just because it's a little bit... It's a little bit slow, my stream. Is what it is, though. Just wait a minute. Might turn up a little bit, actually.
We're about to begin the series.
Oh, we're about to begin.
And guys, I want you to go crazy right now, okay, when we cut to this.
Yeah.
Okay. G1 versus Elevate. One is a move in.
Yes!
Let's play some Rocket League.
We've hit the ball. We are
Okay, we'll keep it.
This is fantastic. Atomic's missed, but it was tactical. It's only coming in from the side. Happy days, everybody. Appreciation to each and every one of you for sticking with us.
Bro, that's so loud, though, on stream. Okay, so as we see, we've got G1 versus Elevate. So G1 is an EU team. Elevate, of course, is that APAC team, which is probably not going to be looking too good to be able to win the entire thing, but it is what it is.
Good chance to start off with, and I think the start of this series is going to be very important for them. We've seen just how other teams who are going to be the underdogs, like we saw Limitless earlier, when they go down a couple, even if they get chances, it then becomes nigh impossible
Come on,
to
then.
work their way back from.
Oh, what a shot! Virtuoso to start off with. I say, though, if Elevate literally win this, though, that'll be one of the worst ever. That'll be so bad for G1, I'm not kidding. Hello to Tower, though, nice to see you. And I'm not even kidding, though, G1 have to win this. If they don't, literally, that'll be first win that Elevate ever got, I'm pretty sure, from an EU team. Because, obviously, G1 got into this World Championship by EU doing really well. I mean, to be honest, they weren't supposed to be making it until Vitality and BDS and all that were just doing really well. They just didn't end up being able to win too well. But can you hear me all right? They're so loud, I think. But okay, they get one back. They're probably a much needed win, to be honest. And does control it very well. Cammy a little bit lost there. Does slam it home just like that. But 1-1, just over a minute.
Looking more than capable of taking this one to their opponents. Excuse me. Not just sat back, not just defending, pushing forward.
What a touch there by Atomic. Gets a pass, gets an odd pass, but Dorito's a little bit wide there. And here comes Virtuoso going again. Going for a fake, but Odie's going to be hard challenging him there. Actually crazy there, but he will get the clearance out. And then Cammy trying to push once again, but Atomic is also going to be there. And Odie with a redirect, but Virtuoso being nice and patient. And here he comes again. Might get a reset, but no, Odie again hard challenging this series. Not giving him any space whatsoever. And Dorito again looking to push all the way, but no, Virtuoso being very, very patient as it seems. But again, it does seem that G1 are being awfully hard challenging. Like, they're hard challenging a lot, which is good to see. But, like, yeah, as the casters were saying, it's being effective. It's about being effective with it, because I don't think they're being very effective with it right now. And cast Cammy again going, but I think right now Elevate are looking like the favourites, but I still say that the thing is with G1 is that they're just giving them a lot of space, I'd say.
The G1 having fantastic answers.
G1 looking like they're looking like the favourites to win, but then I still feel like Elevate have a lot of space in between. So it's really I'm not entirely sure who's going to win right now. I mean, I would still say G1. They should be winning. If G1 aren't winning, then I'd be very surprised. I can't lie. But Atomic going again there, trying to get a pass. See, they're trying to go for a lot of passes. G1. Like I'd say G1 like they're hard challenging. And they're also getting a lot of passes, but I still think they're rushing a bit compared to Elevate that look a lot more patient. I'd say hello to Mr. James Blake, though, nice to see you. I'm doing amazing. I hope you're replicating this energy, because if you're not, you better be soon. But once again, I still feel like if G1 lost this, they would be done. Like the amount of chat over Twitter and everything, like they'd just be done. There's no way. I get that they're probably not going to get out of the group stage, but they can't be losing this. They get a second there, just slam it over. If my mic's a bit loud, guys, let me know, because I'm not always sure if it's too loud or not. But yeah, there's no. I mean, Virtuoso just left on his own there. Literally, just what are they doing? Literally just left him in the dust to fend off like 2 or 3 opponents. But 2-1 as it stands, still going the entire way, and realise going for what an air dribble by him. But Odie again is just hard challenging, after hard challenge. Oh yeah, that's what I thought, Assassin. There's not many people who ask how my day is, but you are one of them. Nice to see you. Cammy, what a save there. Can be nice and patient, but realise again. I think realise he's got really good ball control, but like I don't know if it's gonna work for the way that G1 are playing, because you just got. I'd say when people are hard challenging, you've got to be very patient. You've got to allow them to overcommit, use too much boost, all that jazz. So I'd certainly say that the way they're playing right now, I don't think Elevate are going to be able to long-term win. I'd certainly say that short-term they're going to be able to do something out of it, but no, long-term I really don't think it's going to be too good for them. Whoa, dear, that's a bit of a save there. Unfortunate save. And Cammy again, getting some more aggression. Might have let them overcommit a bit, but no, they're still going to have really good defense and going to continue their run.
Good decision, putting the pressure on G1. 15 seconds left for the Elevate squeeze. The G1 hoping they'll be able to.
There's a touch again. There we go.
Realize maybe with one more chance. He goes high, gets a flip reset.
Oh, what a reset! But again, I think that G1 are finding the gaps in Elevate's gameplay, and I believe that these gaps is just them because they know that they're not better. Because I think realistically, G1 are just better regardless, but they should be better unless they just let their mental completely get to them. But I think that obviously G1 are probably obviously a lot better realising the gaps in Elevate. And Elevate, it's more about, I mean, they got good patience, but it's just like they don't know as well to be able to have a proper technique. Because being patient is good, but I wouldn't say it's like a proper technique, if that makes sense. It's more of just a skill that's going to help you do well. But I'd say that G1, they've got their technique there, and they've also got the they're 7th in Europe, so they're not exactly the worst team ever. They've been able to beat good teams before, and a lot better teams than Apex. So realistically, even for G1, like even with their mentality issues, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. But that was probably close a game that they needed to be honest.
But realistically, G1, great game management. They went down, did not phase them. They managed to get one back, get the second off Virtuoso's error. Very, very well played. Nicely controlled. And
there we go, game 2 again here. Tell me any good goals you think. I mean, that was an alright goal, but I don't think that's quite the one for the highlight reel.
Turning into a professional job here from G1. A simple goal from the kickoff.
And what a boom there. 1-0 already. By the way, people who didn't know it, it's actually best of 7. So if you guys are looking, or you're wondering, oh, how long's the series for? All weekend, I'm pretty sure it's best of 7. So best of 7 means that it's the first to be able to win the 4 games. But already. Like, I don't know why G1 are just giving them such an easy time. Like, I get Elevate's got an EU player on, but it's just, the whole point is that I think G1 realistically, see, Quadrant, I don't know if you guys have been watching RLCS long enough, but Quadrant was a team that was, I mean, that they weren't that good on LAN, but they were certainly good to be able to get to a certain point. G1 are also like that, but then they sort of just crumble too much at the LAN. I think with Quadrant, if they actually stay together, I think Quadrant stay together, that's Lando Norris's team, by the way. I feel that they would be able to beat teams like this without the sort of mentality issues or whatever. Because while Quadrant, at the time, they did sometimes lose out, I still say that on LAN they're stronger than G1. Because G1 is good online, but as soon as it comes to LAN, they just seem to, like, they win against the odd team, and then they just sort of fall apart. But let's get back to the game again. So we have got Odie going for a shot there, but Atomic is also going to be there as well. Getting a few bumps, demos here. So I still say that G1 are continuing with their aggressive, hard challenging push. But oh my god, it's a bit of a fake there. An elevator now up. What is happening here then? Bit of a fake there. Odie literally. Oh my days. Why is he missing that? Why is he missing that, chat? That's crazy.
I'll finish my thought. If the crew do get the reverse sweep, I will give out an almighty Aguero. It'll be really cringe. Anyway, I'm gonna just look. It's 2-all. It's 2-all. That's just sorry.
I don't understand why this is happening right now. But 2-2. I mean, I don't know about you guys in the chat, but personally, I feel that there should be certainly a G1 W. I mean, they're playing a way that should be working, but then I feel like Elevate are also counteracting it. And wow, Realize is really good at, say it, the redirects right now. Just goes the entire way.
Oh, what a kickoff! Mate, I'm telling you, Realize is like 3.0 of himself. This player who's just been.
And what a shot there as well. But G1 also looking to be able to take. I mean, they've got one back now, but it's still looking to be a dub for. I still say G1 is probably just a blip for them. I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about too much.
On the opposite push, picks up boost. Elevate start to wear their thin. They use a lot of it. Oli up high, goes low with it.
Oh, what a shot though! And it does see it taking their time a bit more now. But I think they were rushing towards the start of the game, and now it does work for them. Boom! What a goal, but 3 minutes left. Can they do it? I think so.
Absolutely.
But we have to wait and see, of course.
In 2 minutes. Goal after goal after goal. And wonderful Oli with a nice save in the end, but does miss his initial touch that he definitely aimed for. Chance now for Atomic down that left-hand side. To go high, only 30 though. He's not going to get the distance, but he does get a 50. Dorito pushed up a little bit too far. Now Kami sends the ball away with the reset though, over the top of Oli. Oli taps it to the corner, and yet more good defense from G1.
Realize is refusing to leave G1 alone. He can sense that this could be Elevate's game. Dorito though has been found up against Virtuoso. Atomic's coming in as well.
Almost.
They managed to do so. Elevate, keep it at 3-3.
What a shot again though.
Tracking backwards, but Realize who else is right behind him.
Tell you what though, that save for a Vert is extraordinary. Gets a touch when he's in a 2v1 situation, and then makes it a save that is manageable by Realize.
Going all the way. Might be a touch, but what a save again, and Kami going, but Oli's also going to be there, and he's not giving up. But Dorito might get a 50. There's a bit of a team pinch almost there, but of course Realize getting another 50 again. I'd still say G1 continue with their hard challenging way. I mean, it sort of works, but this should not be happening. This should not be happening. Literally, what is... like, literally... Elevate is just taking it because G1 just seems to have. I mean, I get mentality can be an issue, but come on, guys, you're literally EU. I mean, yes, it's 7th seed, but this just go through it. I mean, yes, again, Vitality at one point did struggle against Elevate, but the whole point is
On that back
that
corner, Atomic is up.
Elevate
Actually, Oli was up as well.
should
That's a
not
lot of
be
boost
taking
used.
this
I thought
easily.
there was a reset.
I mean, maybe one game's alright, but anyway, let's get right back into it. So, Odie looking to get a ceiling shot, might go the entire way. Virtuoso's going to be there though, and Atomic is going to catch it, but Atomic trying to get a reset again, gets a pass. They're going for a lot of passes. It is going to not work. And what a save by Cammy on the goal line to save the day. But this might be one here. Odie hard challenges, and it does work this time. I might just turn that off for a little bit because we're going to get some actual talking going there. Might get some music on at some point, but what a game so far. 4-4 as it stands. 1 minute 16 left. And 1 minute 16 of absolute shenanigans about to happen here because Virtuoso going to get a touch there. But it is going to be a redirect again. Does boom it. And Cammy with a 5th here. And talk about Rocket League scores. I mean, talk about cricket scores. Talk about basketball. Because we have ourselves a 5-4 lead right now. And this is not something you see every day, ladies and gentlemen. And G1, Dorito with head in his hands. He is not looking too excited by that scoreline so far, but Cammy is going to also be there. Realize looking for a sink, but save Odie is on his own there. A lot of defense so far a lot of the defenders have been stranded very much so in the defense, but against Virtuoso with a touch there, and here comes Realize again, and going the entire way, but Odie is also going to get past. So many passes by G1, but it doesn't seem to be working out too well as Cammy does get a touch there. Odie is going to hard challenge again. So much hard challenging, but I will say though, that might be a goal, but no! Again, going for a pass. And G1 just constantly going for all these passes. Like, what is happening, chat? What is happening? I mean, they're going for too many passes. I mean, I get they want to get that chemistry going, but these sort of passes just is not going to be beneficial to them. And that could just be game. Passes again, a pass and pass and pass and pass. Could get a 50, but no, that is going to be a game for Elevate. And a bit of a miss there, but couldn't they keep up 0 seconds? I don't think so. Elevate for the win. And that is already not looking too good for G1, I can't lie. I mean, I still feel like G1 can take this, but I'm going to say they probably have to switch up their game style a little bit because this whole hard challenge sort of game style does work, but in this scenario, I just don't think it's going to be that effective because they just keep doing the same like hard challenge sort of way, and I'd say it's good, but in this scenario, you've just got to switch it up. As hard challenging itself isn't going to help. You've got to, I'd say maybe stop being like maybe you're doing a little bit too much. I'd say they're probably just hard challenging a little, like just a bit more than they need to. Is the answer, but only one game for Elevate, so it's not looking too great. I'd say though the longevity for Elevate's playstyle would certainly be their patience right now. I've seen a lot of Realize with his air dribbles and Elevate in general with their patience, I'd say is certainly a quality which is going to help them. I still don't know if it's going to be able to win the entire thing, but if G1 just continue the same playstyle and they sort of have some mentality issues, I feel like Elevate do have a good chance. I still don't know. I can't quite look at it in terms of Elevate winning the entire event. I mean, not the entire series. But I can certainly see that if G1's mental does crumble, I can see Elevate easily getting 2, if not 3 games in this series. Easily. But Realize again, like being patient on that bat ball because Odie, look, rushing. I mean, hard challenging is good, but he's doing it to a point where I feel like they're just rushing. And now we've got a timeout. So I feel like probably that's been the second one of this series. So what on earth is happening with this? So a second timeout already, and it does seem that it is a. Actually, might just turn up a little bit just to see.
In front of me for the subtitles of. Is that what I sound like in that moment?
That's what I hear.
Of course, Stumpy, you know the exact moment I'm referencing, the Aguero moment?
Yes, when he scored a football goal.
This guy.
Okay, so anyone who has just joined, there's some like technical difficulties, so they're not playing right now. But anyone who does watch Rocket League or doesn't know what it is, we can help you find or learn some new things to do with the esport, because it is really exciting to watch. I'm actually going to Germany in a few days to even do some live streaming there, so you guys can be very, very lucky to see me cast there, of course. But I'm still not sure exactly what's stopping it. I mean, normally they show you like what's stopping it, or they tell you, but they don't seem to be talking about it too much. We just got some G1 contenders here, just Atomic. No, his name is Dorito. Maybe not looking exactly too pleased with his performance so far, and they're certainly not happy with this timeout, I'd say. But certainly we are going to be going right back into the game very, very shortly, if not any time now, because certainly both teams do not look very excited by these timeouts. You can tell they just want to get the series over and done with. I mean, Cammy's all right. He already knows that the series is actually going all right, because in reality, when Elevate plays against the EU team, you expect them just to sweep, but they've already taken the game off it, and they were looking very strong in that second game as well. I mean, the third game, but I'd still say so far that this entire Elevate run could be certainly possible. We did see in the Spring Major that Elevate certainly did take a game of Vitality, in fact almost 2 games of Vitality, but then again, Vitality is the best versus, I mean, I don't like to say it, but the worst team in the tournament at the time, and I'd say that, I mean, nerves does kick on, especially Zen, it was his first event, but right now, I'd say G1 though, like I'd say it might be some like mental issues, and not mentality issues, and yeah, as you see there, technical difficulties. But I'd say G1 players are like mental. I mean, especially it seems so that they used to have Mark by 8 on the stream. I mean, on the team, and then they got him out and then put Odie in there. Whether I think that was an upgrade or not, or whether I think this works well, because you got two Spaniards, and then you got one Dutch player, and does that work too well in terms of language barrier? They must be speaking English, because unless Oli knows how to speak Spanish, which is highly unlikely, I just don't see it happening. But of course, Elevate do speak in English, I'm pretty sure, seeing so Cammy is from New Zealand, I'm pretty sure. And then Virtuoso is from Ireland/Nigeria, but I'm pretty sure he does speak English. And then, of course, you have Realize, who is from Japan, but he does speak English very well. And he's a very nice player. He's actually plays for the Pulse Clan as well, but Atomic there was actually dominating the RLCS EU in 2020-2021 in the RLCS X format, but of course there was something called COVID, and it did stop the players from being able to play on LAN. I feel like Atomic, if there was a LAN in 2020-2021, then I feel like he probably could have got like top 4 in the world. But unfortunately, there was no LAN. It was all online. But I think he was playing under Team Queso at that time. And Realize, you don't normally see him looking not too happy, but he is certainly looking more locked in, I'd say, is probably the answer. And I believe that the technical issues probably are residing now, and they are going to get back into it. Probably because like someone's monitor just isn't, like the controller probably isn't locking in too well, because we haven't seen too much of one of the players. I'm not sure exactly which player it was, but like they're not really showing the camera of one. So I'd say, I mean, Atomic is not really him. I'd say it's probably Oli that's having technical difficulties, because I'd be surprised if it wasn't, because I just haven't seen, like, there's nothing happening here from Atomic and Virtuoso. I mean, then again, Oli's not. So I'd say it's probably the admin. It might be an admin issue, I'd say. So the admin issues is probably that the referees might maybe had or the server's gone down or something. They're probably, like, the server's gone down. They're having to recreate a whole new lobby, make sure no one can join it, all that jazz. And in my opinion, I feel like the offline events, like, if you look on, when you go into Rocket League, if you guys play Rocket League yourself, you will see that there's create LAN match or join LAN match option, and I'd say when you play offline, there should not be like any lag whatsoever. You should be able to play 0 ping, but they say that its offline event is 0 ping and all that. But like, in general, whenever these offline events happen, they still play technically online, because they yes, it's low ping, but it's just that I just don't agree with that too much. But they've just all fist bumped, so I can imagine that they're getting back into the game. We're about to probably see it restart any second now. By the way, anyone in the chat who wants to be a moderator for in future, let us know because we can maybe help you with that. But until then, we are just going to see this get right back into it because, yeah, we're getting back into the match, guys. Let's go. Game 3, G1 versus Elevate. G1, the lowest EU team. That's going to be a goal already, both realise. And what on earth happened there? G1 maybe laughing it off a bit, but straight off the kickoff. And Atomic may be a bit of a wide fate challenge there. Does certainly not work out too well, but nevertheless, only 1-0, 2 seconds in, and Dorito again. I'd still say a G1, I can tell already from this first few seconds, that they're probably going to go back into their hard challenge playstyle, which can work, but I just don't know if it's going to work in this scenario. Maybe they need to get a few skills, or not in terms of the gameplay skills, but in terms of being patient, in terms of knowing when to challenge. These sort of things, I'd say, is going to help a lot more than hard challenging. Because what I mean by hard challenging is when they see the opponent going for it, and before they can even react, you go for it. So in reality, or theoretically, it should be working quite well, but I just think that Elevate know that, and they have their patience worked out quite well. And when you're playing against a very patient team, yes, you can still hard challenge, but when you're doing it as much as they are, I just don't think it's going to work. I mean, Virtuoso trying a little bit there, but Odie going again, gets a touch, but I'd still say G1 going for so many passes. I mean, it's good to trust your teammates, guys, but if you're going for this many passes, I mean, last game I saw, for example, Dorito, he literally had a chance. I mean, it was a hard angle, but I'm not gonna lie, he did have a chance to be able to score, but instead he chose to pass to his teammates. See, this is the sort of teammates I don't like playing with in ranked. Not that it matters about what I play with, but I still feel that the passes and the whole hard challenging thing is not a good mix for G1. I mean, I know that I know their LAN experience hasn't been too successful. Dorito going all the entire way here, though. But Odie, again, you see Odie a lot in the air. I think Odie maybe needs to ground himself a little bit more. As when you're in the air, you're normally using a lot of boost. And when you're using a lot of boost, it normally means that you're maybe not conserving it too well. And when you're not conserving it too well, you're more likely to rush to the ball. And when you're more likely to rush to the ball, you're more likely to make panic decisions. And when you're making more panic decisions, that happens. And Elevate now 2-0 up, and it just kind of makes sense, really. Elevate looking to take a second here. It's really not there. And Odie with his head, I can't say head in his hands, but hand on his head, and progressing into hands in his head in his hands. That's what I meant to say. They've got there eventually, guys. But again, Odie is just rushing a lot, I'd say. He's run. I mean, it can work against some teams, but I just don't think Elevate is going to work against, and Cammy is going to be there. But I'd say right now, Elevate are pretty chill, I can't lie. If they just continue this whole patient, make sure they're not doing too much that they need to do, all that jazz, I feel like it's really going to work for them. And again, Cammy on the backboard and Atomic, but already getting some boost now. Maybe he needs to get some little pads rather than get all those big boosts. But he's going to go the entire way here on the ceiling again. But no, that was a bit of a blunder in terms of that sort of challenge. But Atomic gets a pass again. At least sort of passes, they're passing to the point where it makes the other person awkward. But oh my days, what a shot there! But I don't know how that hasn't gone in. That must be absolutely painful for G1 here. And it almost goes in again. Atomic is back in time, though. And Odie does get a touch again. But Odie, you just see him in the air the entire time, and he's still low boost. This is not something we like to see. And Dorito does get a pass there. But another pass upon pass upon pass. And a bit normally, this sort of playstyle can make the opposing team collapse eventually. But it just doesn't seem to be happening. I just don't see Elevate collapsing anytime soon. I mean, they're looking for a second game here. And Realize does get a 50. Very strong with the 50s so far. Does get a touch there. Could be one there. Odie does get a touch, but again, I think Odie's just going for a lot of risky plays potentially there. Virtuoso back again. There's always seemed to be at least one person back on the Elevate defense, except that when there is one person back, they're not just rushing. They are still taking their time. That might be a second, but Cammy, again, you don't see him rushing. You just see him very grounded. And what a low 50 there. Cammy really showing right now that he is a very patient player. So is Elevate in general. And a few demos there. Again, I mean, they're getting very greedy. I know there's a load of demos. That might just be in. But what a save there as well by Realize, I'm pretty sure. And Virtuoso going to be there. Gets a 50. And the 50's really been working out for Elevate. I mean, yes, it has been going their way a lot. But I just say that the 50s have been working so well. Again, 50 after 50 after 50. And here comes Realize. Again, gets a bit of a unfortunate pass. But only going for a lot of risky things, I'd say, as well. Here, going for a lot of risky touches. But Tommy also goes for a risky touch. But it doesn't work out this time. Still plenty of time. And maybe to give Elevate defense. Didn't expect that reset off there. I mean, very good shots by the Spaniard himself. But will it be enough? 18 seconds left, chat. And Dorito going the entire way here. But Virtuoso not going to rush too much. Is passing to the centre, though. Atomic hard challenges. Doesn't work, though. And so many hard challenges. It might be a goal, but after the pose. And what a save, though, I realise. Game 2 could just be Elevate. Unless we see a 0 second here. Virtuoso needs to get a boom here. That's risky, but it works for Elevate. The patience was risky at that point, but it works. And G1 are just not showing that patience that they so need. And Elevate, we could just be seeing a game series. Last World Championship, I mean, Realize his team did be able to win one series, but this could be the series that he replicates for this year. And before, I'm pretty sure the series they did win was against a South African team. But to win against the EU team would be a very big step forward for Elevate. This could just be making history right now, ladies and gentlemen. And Realize there, clutching up with the game. But here we have game 4. And although we have game 4 about to go on the way, we're having a few of the replays here. But as you see, though, like there was a good shot here. That was a good shot by Atomic. But I just don't think the mechanical plays. I'd say G1 are also relying a lot more on the mechanical plays than the Elevate team are. But nevertheless, I feel like Elevate, they are certainly elevating their performance right now, as it is certainly paying off. But I still feel like G1 aren't done yet. But I certainly see Elevate taking 3 games here at least. Even if Elevate fall and their game style just collapses, I still feel like they're going to get at least 3 games now. Like they've proven to me now that I know G1 is so temperamental. But still, they should not be losing this. And another pause again. 3 pauses now. What is happening? I have literally negative clue on what's actually happening there. But whatever's happening is certainly affecting the stream from being broadcasted. It must be some sort of lag issue. I'm gonna say. Because, I mean, some of you in the chat are probably going to say, oh yeah, it's probably just them being scared or something like that. It's probably not. But I can imagine that for at least one, I'm not sure which team to say right now, but I can say these timeouts is probably going to affect one of these teams. Very likely. And it must be some sort of lag issue, because this 3 times now this has happened. Let's hear what they're saying.
Stumpy, I'm proud of you. Signed, Dad.
Very concise language is French.
14 seconds went in that game. Don't know when we're going to be restarting from, but G1 are going to want to mentally restart themselves. They're going to need to have a bit of a fresh mind going into this, because, as you said, Cole, unprecedented territory. Elevate 2-1 up versus the mighty G1.
Yeah, I mean,
you pointed to me, so yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
The stats as well. Have a look at these stats that we know off the top of our heads.
Go on, tell me what I know off the top of my head.
You know that APAC is 1-25. That's 3.85%, as I'm sure you figured out.
That's good.
And then 7.61% of their game wins on LAN. Their lone series win was against Sub-Saharan Africa, the 1 out of 25.
5 of
Oh,
their
guys,
game
apparently
wins
Aguero
against
showed up at
Sub-Saharan
the
Africa.
RLCS World
They've
Championship.
now got
No
2 game wins
way.
in this series. It's been a long, slow process for this region. All the way back, it was one of the dream hacks, I can't remember,
That is
where
crazy,
Realize was there,
guys.
and they got themselves a goal as well after traveling all that way. It's just been slow,
We're just waiting
steady,
a second though for
quite
it to
beautiful
start
progress
again.
as well
It's
to watch
so
this
annoying.
region flourish. And now here they are with seemingly the tech issues against them because they did not want this break, and certainly G1 against them too.
But tell you what, though, G1 don't want to be that statistic. They want anything but. They want to make sure that they are not the team that was the first win for an emerging region like APAC to get against.
Yeah, the game they won against Vitality.
Of course, it's Vitality, yeah.
At the Spring Major. They also, Detonator got a game against FaZe Clan at the 21-22 Winter Major.
They did.
As well. I forgot about
Come
that one.
on,
So, yeah,
Jet.
very,
Come on,
very
bro.
rare for this to happen. We are witnessing potentially history. Even if G1 end up winning this series, we are still witnessing history.
It's still a milestone.
Yeah.
For APAC,
Elevate winning
regardless.
against
So
2
G1,
games.
right.
I'd
cool.
say
I
it's
can already see
certainly
the
a dub.
comments. They were like, why are you so biased towards Elevate?
Saying the
But-
truth.
I know, but I'm acting as chat.
Come
Sorry,
on,
okay.
we want
I'm
to
going
get
to tell
the,
chat to shut
we want to
up.
get the
But
content
I'm also
going.
going to tell them that G1, as we've said, have got a really good chance to come back for this. They are a team that we've seen have the mettle to do this. They went through a tiebreaker in order to get to the Winter Major. That is when they managed to get through Quadrant. They also beat another team that my mind is so bad that I can't think of. Moist, potentially?
I think it was Moist. Yeah, I think it was Moist.
Yeah, Moist first, and then it was Quadrant. They have the mettle to be able to do this, but is a team that is on the brink of even being a team. Are they going to be able to take it against now Elevate, who are looking like they have got more determination than we have ever seen?
They seem quiet. They seem nervous to G1, but that may well just be the way that they operate. Not every team has to be standing up, shushing the camera after going 1-0 up after 6 seconds.
One goal.
Which I adore. I love that from Virtuoso. You know, that's the sort of the faux arrogance you need to have when you come into a series as the underdog, and Virtuoso showed it in that moment. But G1 don't necessarily need that. You know, you don't need Dorito standing on the table and chucking his controller at people. Not that he'd ever do that or anyone ever has, but like that'd be a bit much. You'd be
Too
banned.
much. Yeah, you should be banned.
And rightfully so. Agreed, man. You know, that's what I think too. Man.
What if he chucks a controller and beds it in Kami's head?
No, don't do that. Definitely don't do
Yeah.
that. That'd be very wrong indeed. I just want to see the best of G1. The G1
Same.
that made it into the top 5 of Europe in winter. You know, I mean, they might have been 10th or whatever it was in EU this time around, but that's still pretty good.
They're currently 7th.
Alright, we're
They're
getting
the
back
7th
into
seed.
it,
That's
guys.
like
Overall,
Let's go.
the season overall,
And
yeah.
we're about to see
So it's
Elevate
not been an easy path for
eventually take
Elevate,
over.
nor has it been for G1.
Yeah.
Both these teams are going to try
This
and
would be one
dig
of the
deep
biggest
in their
series
previous
ever, I can't
failings
lie.
to come out of here victorious. Dorito challenges. Dorito almost gets the next touch. We're alive, it's game 4.
Utopia is proving ground
Game
to both
four,
these
and
teams.
Elevate
Elevate
could
to
be
show that
taking
they
the
are
entire
able
thing.
to get yet another.
And 30 seconds in, just about 25 seconds in, and we are seeing that Elevate looking to get a third. I can smell that they're going to get at least a third, because I can't lie, I don't want to be seeing G1 just winning all, like, I don't want to make it, I don't want the series to go as long as possible. I just want to see one of these teams just battle out, because so far, all of the series that happened are only close series, like, no matter only, like, one-sided series, because I think the one-sided series, like, the close series, we want to see more in the main event, not in the group stage. But here comes Realize again, trying to go the entire way, but what a touch there by Dorito. And G1 have been playing very hard challenging, very passy, aggressive sort of a game style. So I would like to see a little bit of a change. Not too much of a change, just a bit. And I feel like it could really work out, because technically it could work out for them, but I just don't, it doesn't feel stable, if that makes sense. Like, the way that they're playing just doesn't feel stable. I think Elevate realised that, and because being patient for Elevate, I don't think will work out as well, like, overall. But I certainly think the way that G1 are playing right now, if Elevate just continue and be patient, yes, they will probably concede a game or two, but I still feel like Elevate could at least get to game 3, if not win the entire series. I can't lie. What a touch there as well. Could be a chance for Kami. What a save by Dorito again. And here comes Mr. Realize, going for a bit of a fake there, but does work for him. A little bit of a scuffle there for Elevate team, as they do look to get a double tap, But a little bit again, they're going for a lot of risky play. I think the G1, because they feel like they've got expectation on them because they're an EU team, I feel like they're just going for a lot of risky plays rather than just be patient, rather than look at what they actually do apart from their initial game plan. Because I think they're just going off their initial game plan, which can work, but doesn't work this time. And G1 1-0, but plenty of time to play. I don't see Elevate. I mean, a little bit of a scratch head by Virtuoso. Maybe not too excited with himself for doing that, but I still don't see Elevate falling anytime soon. I feel like they've got that momentum going. I feel like that they've got that leverage that they need so far. Like, I still feel Elevate are going to take a game because what shot there. This is the thing with G1. They're really good at hitting these good shots, especially Atomic. I mean, he got the flip reset the other game, and of course getting a lot of chances. But the only point is that I feel like it's a very inconsistent thing for G1. Yes, they can hit the good shots. Yes, they can get some good strong games, but I don't feel like this whole playstyle is long-term sustainable, especially for being able to win. Like, I mean, against Elevate, I mean, yes, it might just be a bad series for them. I mean, what a game here, looking to make a comeback here. I mean, I was expecting G1 probably to make an understandable comeback after that second game loss against Elevate. I don't feel like Elevate would have just gone and won the third as well. But I do feel like Elevate still do have at least, even if G1 win the next 2 games, I still feel Elevate are going to take another one. And it's going to go down to probably Game 7 at least. At least, guys. I'll be very surprised at this point if Elevate don't win a third game. Because, I mean, the thing is, though, a lot of teams are good at solidifying their last bit. Like, yes, they'll have a bit of a scuffle. Yes, they'll maybe take like 1 or 2 games. I mean, even 2 was suspecting, but I still feel that, like, after what I've seen today, I don't think G1, especially with how the results have been in the entire season, are that team that can just get out the scuffle. They're normally going to have, like, they'll probably be able to get out of it as well. I still feel like they're just going to be able to get out of it, but, or even like 4-2, 4-3, to be honest. But it's going to be a bit of a, yeah, it's going to be quite a bit messy, I can't lie. Because even 4-2, even if they get a perfect sweep out of this so far, it's shown to everyone that they're just not going to be able to keep this long term. And this might be, I mean, to be honest, if G1 win this, I won't be surprised if that's their only win of the tournament. Like, no offense to them or anything if they're watching, but there's so many passing plays. If they win this one, they'll probably have to win this one and then maybe win. I mean, I can see G1 probably still winning this, but the point is that they'll probably end up losing the next series, and then they'll maybe win against they'll probably lose another one as well, and then maybe win against like Gaming Gladiators or Limitless or something, and get like a 4-1 finish or something against them. But I still feel like, yeah, G1 probably going to finish 9th to 11th at wildcard. I can't imagine them getting. I see that they should be getting through, but like EU teams in general should be getting through. But remember, guys, it is 7th seed. 7th seed. I mean, 7th seeds in general should still be doing well. I mean, I think if PSG Tundra were at the event and not G1, I feel like even though PSG Tundra haven't done so well in the season, I still feel like they would perform a lot better on land than G1 do. I just feel like G1, they're very short-term good team on land. I just feel that, like, more than one match, a little bit like Quadrant, but Quadrant was not as bad. Like, they weren't as inconsistent, I don't think. But yeah, G1, like, they beat FaZe and that, but then they just went and crumpled to Crew or something like that. That just can't be happening. And G1 does get a dub here. All tied up once again, but I'd say whoever wins this next match will probably win the entire thing because we saw it with Moist and Twisted Minds earlier. We did see that once, I mean, it got to 2-2 Twisted versus Moist, and then Twisted won the third, and then they had the momentum, got the fourth, because right now, until I'd say main event, we're not going to be seeing much 3-game wins. 3, so I'd say if G1 win this next match, I don't see Elevate coming back. I just don't see Elevate. Maybe getting, like, winning the match, but I mean winning the match, but I don't see them actually. Yeah, I mean I see them winning the match while they're playing, but like but before the match, that's before the match has ended. Like by the time the match has ended, I feel like G1's gonna win, if that makes sense. But yeah, so many like passing plays. Like I feel that like G1 rely on each other too much in a way, if that makes sense. Because it's good to work as a team, it's good to do team plays and stuff, but like they rely on each other too much, I think, to the point where it's like a vicious cycle. Whereas Elevate, obviously, they're not to the level where they can be really, really good, but I certainly feel like something good could happen for Elevate. I certainly feel that something good could happen, and this could just be Elevate's break. I can't lie, because they in the Spring Major, Elevate were looking to even beat Vitality at one point, but they still played really well. I can't lie, but I don't. I think they're beating Vitality. Like, yes, it's a big upset. Yes, it's the best versus worst team, but I just don't think beating Vitality, or if they did beat Vitality, they would have got absolutely slammed in the next series. It's just how it is, but. No, I don't think Vitality would have been beat. G1 though, yes, they're a lot like they're nowhere near Vitality's level. But yeah, when I saw these two matches placed, one reason why I'm actually casting it right now, I did certainly feel that the Elevate had an opportunity. I'd say I still think that G1 are taking this overall, but I still see Elevate are going to do probably really good. Like even a game 3, I can see Elevate, to be honest, getting a game 3. But if G1 take this game, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. But I say if Elevate win this could be really, really good for them. I feel like if Elevate take the third game though, I feel like G1 are going to win the third, like the other game. Going to go to game 7. Elevate are going to be winning, and there's going to be like 2-1, 10 seconds left, and then it ends up G1 getting the equaliser and then wins the OT. That's how I see it. I can't lie, but let's not predict too ahead right now, because there's still plenty of time. Realise he's been getting some really good air dribbles this series. A few demos there as well. Cammy gonna get a 50, but it does seem again that G1 may be leading back to that original game style, which in turn did not work. I mean, it worked a bit for them, but not enough to the point where I'm confident that it'll work in terms of winning games. Because at the end of the day, guys, if you're not winning those games, yes, you can do good. I mean, the only people that get away with performing good and not winning are normally like APAC or SSA or maybe OCE, maybe. But in general, I mean, EU again. The only thing is that like EU 7, yes, it's EU 7 seed, but the whole point is that like if you had someone like else like PSG Tundra or even the team below that, like Lunar Galaxy or something like that, I just feel like in a way, yes, they'd probably end up losing like other series, but I still feel like they'd be able to take this a lot more calmly than G1 are. I get touched there, not quite. Might just get a touch there, but Cammy's there again. And it seems like Elevate building more of a wall now, which is a bit reassuring for the Elevate fans, of course. But Atomic is going to be. I just say, I want to see what G1 is like when they play a bit more defensive, because right now we're just seeing that to slowly creep in again. We're seeing the whole hard challenge, passing play sort of thing, which, by the way, I'm not hating on it. It can work. But I see it creeping to the point where I just feel like it's not going to work out the way that they want it to work out. Might get a 50 there, but Odie again. That's a bit of a unnecessary commit there. I'd say certainly a commit that he probably will regret at some point. But nevertheless, go the entire way. It could be a shot for Virtuoso, but no, Odie's going to be there and be playing with fire now, because obviously Cammy, I feel like Cammy is solidifying himself to be able to come back with those hard challenges, of course. But I think the stream is lagging a bit. It might need to just refresh that. We're back again. Let's go. And Atomic getting the clear that EO so needs. But of course, here comes Realize again. Good with their edge dribbles, but Dorito again. That I'd say G1 really rely on their mechanical capability. They're kind of putting out the entire patient thing out the window, and they're just trying to ignore the whole patient thing by doing what they do instead. And it for them it works a bit, but just not enough that I'm confident with. Might be going OT here though. It's been a very, very close game, and guess Cammy can go the entire way. He's gonna be in, and Cammy with a shot, and G1 are not gonna be happy with that. 5 seconds left, and Cammy has learned from it, but Realize, and he's got the entire way, and Atomic is absolutely lost with that one. That might just be an elevate dub here. 5 seconds left, and it might be a bit loud here, but just make sure to turn it down if it is a bit loud. And this could be it, unless Atomic can keep it up. Can they keep it up? Only's going to keep it up. Here comes Dorito again. 50, and it's going to be, yeah! Elevate. Take game 3. To be honest, it's hard. It's hard to say. I mean, Atomic looks out. I can't lie. He looks out. At this point, from what I can see, I feel that G1 can take a game 3. But I feel that Elevate might just have this in the bag now. I feel that like that mental block is just there for G1 now. And I feel that Elevate might... I can't... Like, normally I can guarantee a dub, but like, I can't guarantee the dub for Elevate, but I feel like there's like a mental block going for G1 here. And that is a... Like, regardless now, that is a dub for Elevate here. What a shot by Cammy, though. Yeah. He's not too happy there, Dorito. But they won't be out. They won't be out, though. Of course, they won't be out if they lose. It's just that this is a dub. This is a match that even the Tommets say that he's like, we're not losing this. We're not losing this. He's not happy. He's not happy. He's getting locked in now. I still feel like G1, it's not going to be over for them. It's not over for them. But I just see that mental block there. That like, it's a weird one to say, because normally I can say that's a mental block and, oh yeah, even if they win, they're still going to win. But it's like Elevate, I can see them taking this game, but I mean, G1 take this game, and then Elevate, like, in theory, I feel like could win, but I still feel like G1 somehow have it there. I don't know. It's like a feeling I can't describe. But I just feel something there. It's just like, I feel like G1 will win this, but then Elevate chances are going to be going to them still. But then I still also can't guarantee that. So it's like a vicious cycle for myself, really. Reset there. Just go the entire way. Go to pass there. And does continue to keep pushing forward. But there could be a shot for Cammy. He gets a 50, but Dorito's going to be at that time. It just doesn't feel safe the way G1 are playing. Like, it's very... A word to describe it would be just not tightened up. It's like shoelaces. They feel like a pair of shoelaces that have not been tied up. Like, they're there. Like, the shoelace is there, so you can still walk around with the shoelaces untied. But normally, you need them tied up, and it's working right now. It's like when you go, if you like walk around or something. In theory, you can walk around with your shoelaces undone. It just feels like G1 are the team that are walking around with their shoelaces undone. Like in translation, it can work, but in certain ways, if you're walking on like a really like rocky road or a really slippery road or something, most likely like the untied shoelaces are not going to be able to stay on your feet. And that's what I feel like for G1 right now. Bit of a hot take there, but it works. And G1 going the entire way again here. I mean, I still feel like they're going to take a third win here, of course. But whether it's going to be enough or not is another question. But I feel that Elevate might be a mental block for their win right now. Goes for a shot that's going to be straight in Virtuoso. That's a big goal for him. And that could just be a shot that he remembers for a long time. But 2 minutes 48 left. And oh, wow. Elevate, I just don't see them taking this all the way. I feel like it'd be too easy for them to be able to win this. If they did win this, then, like, wow. I would be absolutely mind blown if they won this. But I just, like, I'm not convinced enough for Elevate to take this just yet. Not just yet. I can see Elevate potentially getting another goal. Oh, but it's going to be in! Virtuoso! Oh my days, guys! We're potentially seeing history here. Asia could be beating an EU team at G1. This is not, they're down, but not out, of course. But literally, this could be history right now. Elevate looking to take a series off of the EU team. Maybe not the best EU team ever, but EU is EU, guys. And this is something for the potentially history books here. Already, 2 minutes 5 seconds left, and G1 is not looking strong for them. They're just like a pair of shoelaces, as I say again, that are not quite tied up. And it can work. You can walk around with untied shoelaces, but you certainly can't walk around with them in a bit of a bumpy ride. And that's going to happen here! Realised with another goal! 1 minute 45 left, and you think that Elevate are looking to literally bounce out their chairs with that one, but no, they are keeping it very ground. They're not jumping out their chair like they have done previously. And again, it's just the G1's whole game style. I don't feel like it's out yet. That my mental block can't let me accept that Elevate are going to win just yet. I still feel like G1, there's a lot of scrambling going out though. And Elevate could just be that team that beats EU. Virtuoso, I feel like something good's going to happen to him. I felt that this could be the tournament for him as the best performing player in Asia right now. But, of course, 1 minute left. Could go for a fall against a pump. But it could be at 50, but Atomic's too strong and doesn't let it go. But realises probably going to waste some time here. Dorito going for a 50-50, but only again gets a pass mid, but too many passes. 53 seconds left now. This could just be it now, and only going for that. But I feel like Elevate might be getting a bit too excited to be able to focus on it, so I still don't guarantee Elevate's win just yet. But Virtuoso, if they get a fourth now, then I do accept it, because there's no way. There is no coming back with 30 seconds left and 3 goals down. Last chance for G1. This could be it for ABAT. ABAT could be beating an EU team. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. In Rocket League, that is not seen much. In other games such as League of Legends, yes, Asia is good. But this might just be what they were looking for. Virtuoso realising Kami, this is the dub they're looking for, and they've done it, and that is going to be a win for Elevate. Oh my days! Elevate beat G1, and they're not out, but that is one of the biggest wins I've possibly ever seen. Wow!
The man who's been brought to tears talking about his journey into Rocket League way back at the start of last season in the Stockholm Major. He built to this moment right here with his 2 dream teammates alongside him, representing APAC. Your winners are Elevate.
If this story doesn't inspire you, if the story of Realize, seeing the game years ago, grinding when they couldn't be in the RLCS, making sure that his determination never stopped, making sure that he picked up 2 players in Kami and Virtuoso who took one of the biggest risks moving to a brand new region. If this is not inspirational,
wow.
I don't know what to tell you.
That is one of the
Elevate.
biggest
They
upsets.
take down a European team and they move on to a 1-1 record in our Swiss at the World Championships.
That was
I
not
am
expected.
beaming at that.
That's
Huge.
I wasn't
a
saying
huge,
that.
huge moment. The story of the Rocket League World Championship
And
2023
Asia
so far.
beating the UK.
Elevate going 1-1. And I'll tell you what, Stumpy, they jolly well deserve it.
I do
G1
like
on the
I do
other
like
side
Elevate,
are an
though.
org where we were
I
saying there were
respect
so many question marks, but that team put up a really good fight. But when you are trying to battle against a team that have
That
destiny
is
on their
crazy,
side,
chat.
and when you are thinking,
That is crazy.
we need to try and ruin what Destiny has got on the plate for them, I don't know what you're going to be up against. Elevate, congratulations. G1, they're of course not out. This is Swiss, it is a lovely format. They are 0-2. They're Europe 7th seed. They're going to be sitting in that bottom part in our low elimination matches tomorrow. Elevate though, they move on. They bought
not just win
themselves a
2
match.
series,
If you are a
win
G1
3
fan,
series.
fear not just yet. Reverse sweeps in the Swiss, where you lose your first 2, win your next 3. They have happened. They do happen. Going
We'll have to
forward
check
in Rocket
this.
League, they will happen. And
We're
G1
gonna
are going
check-
to have
we're
to
gonna
make
check
it
this,
happen.
chat.
But Elevate 1-1.
Brilliant.
Well, look at this.
I mean, you can see the results from today. I mean, which one
says
jumps out to
results
you,
there.
Stumpy?
Probably that Pioneers
G1
Limitless
are
spawner.
literally
No,
become
go away,
almost
Pioneers.
lost
I'm sorry, Banana Head and
Limitless
your mum. Happy
Gaming
birthday,
Gladiators.
Helen, by the way.
I'm pretty sure came last
But,
time.
that was great.
But wow.
That win of
That is
Elevate,
not
man.
good.
We've
That
had
is
some brilliant games here
terrible.
today. We have had Power taking down Valiant for
They can still
one
do it,
Valiant. They also
It's just
put up
gonna
a
be really
decent
hard.
fight against
sure.
the best international team in Power from OCE. Team Secret going
They can't be
4-0
losing
versus
to Elevate,
Gladiators.
though.
Limitless.
Like, come
Couldn't
on,
get
guys.
1 versus Pioneers despite their best
Oh.
efforts.
1 second away in game 1 as well. So close. That series could have been different.
And yet Elevate at the death of today in the 4th series, they get an emerging region win
I can't even believe
against
that.
Europe.
I just can't believe that.
Stumpy Goblin.
Let's go with the other stream.
As they're really up against it now, and LJ will
We just
finally
get right back
tuck
into
it
it.
home. A minute into overtime, SSG take game 1.
You gotta give it up. I mean, he creates this
PlayStation,
play,
come on,
that dunk
PlayStation.
straight down,
I
through
actually really
G2
want
off,
to see PlayStation
Huck
do well.
off with the follow-up 50.
I really
and
want to
LJ
see
to
Space
finish
Station
the
do well. I
job.
can't lie.
Everybody from Space Station Gaming getting involved to finish off game 1, and what fashion
Come on,
as well do
Space.
they do it? A full press against a team like G2, who is known for doing that towards their opponents.
And with that goal, LJ continues to score more against G2 than his 2 teammates combined this season. That includes, of course, when Hoxer was with Ghost earlier on in the season. So LJ gets the game winner. Game 1. We look back at the Mobile One High Performance replay, and we thought this one from JNAPS was as loud as they come. But there is your winner. Absolute chaos in front of the net. And Space Station Gaming, 3-2 over G2. And what a big first step forward here in this high-profile matchup.
And I love what I saw there on the desk when they were talking about G2.
I'm not even kidding, chat.
Again,
I actually
a
really
talent
want to
that
see
did phenomenal
Space
at
Station
the
do well. I mean, I
three
watched a documentary the other day,
JNAPS as a
and
striker looked
wow.
great, which is things you
Like,
wanna see from
I
G2.
really like Space Station a
Of
bit
course, it
since
wasn't
they got
that clear
Hoxer,
cut.
but
What
that is
about
the cherry on
Space
top.
Gaming,
Literally, I'm literally a Space
very
Station fan, I'm
formidable
pretty sure.
amongst all that pressure. Not only that,
To be honest, I
they
might
were
even buy
able to
some of the
turn
merch
things
when it goes
around.
well,
We're starting
but
to keep an eye
Arsenal,
on
oh, you gotta love him.
defensively
You gotta love him.
because
I
there
didn't
were
really,
these
I didn't really like the
where they
old
felt
Space Station. I can't lie.
LJ especially has been
But
doing a
Space
good
Station,
job
I feel like they
keeping
need-
the ball close.
they're
Hoxer
on their
the
way
back
to
end
win
has been
something
phenomenal all
big.
tournament, and they only seem to be building off the success. Let's
Space
see how
Station,
G2
I'm
respond
already
as we
won
get
and
into
think that's the
mid-tempo.
problem.
Oh, Chicago looking for Atomic in the past, just not executed
And I think
well.
this could be their break.
JNAPS at least got to this, but Arsenal in the way. Hoxer and LJ
I feel like if Space Station win this, that if they win this series, I don't see them losing. Like, I mean, they might even lose one series, but like, I don't see them even like having a trouble with the third game. So far, we got Complexity, Falcons, Twisted Mind to the 2, 3 safest teams, I'd say so far.
That's why G2 have to be careful about their approach and moving forward.
Definitely trying to rely a lot on their team chemistry as well, understanding where everybody is supposed to be at any given time.
All right, let's get right back into it.
Have enough behind it to beat Chicago. Now Arsenal staying with the play, got around Chicago.
Come on, Arsenal, baby. 50, almost.
Front, the rebound goes
Atomic going the entire way here. Could be.
Arsenal
This is like the matchup of the century, guys. So if you aren't watching this, that's crazy.
Unsuccessful, and we go back to square one.
It's a pass there. Might go the entire way. Well, Stacks does. I met both of them. They're really nice people. But anyway, we shall say that Space Station is looking to take a second game here. Meanwhile, G2 may be having the same sort of outcome as NRG, potentially, if things don't tighten up very soon. Might go the entire way. LJ with a 50, but two defenders there being nice and safe. But what a pinch there. Kind of caught G2 off guard there, but Hoxha again looking to get a 50, and LJ was right there. That would have been a really good goal, but Arsenal going the entire way gets a 50, but Chicago's also be strong there. And once again, it might be open. That's going to be open. Yes, going to be in. Arsenal and his team force it home, and there's no looking back really. And Hoxha tried to get the bump there, but I can't lie, guys. That was borderline unsayable. That's very close to unsayable. Especially, I mean, it was extremely close that even went in, but those sort of shots, yeah, like you just know it's going to be in. But what a touch there by JNaps again. Still plenty of time for G2, but will it be enough time? And JNaps with a goal there solidifies it in that top right there. And that does push it all the way where he needs it to be, because if he isn't, then of course they still have got plenty of opportunities, but this could be their last opportunity to be able to get the best seeding they can possibly do. Might get a reset there. Atomic hasn't got the flip though. It isn't going to be there. Atomic, the main man, I'd say mechanical man for G2, of course, but Chicago also maybe a little bit behind, but JNaps is going to be there. Atomic is also going to be there, and it doesn't get a bump off the ceilings. That's really big for Atomic, but it's also not going to be quite enough to be able to win the game so far. But a lot of saves for G2, I mean, as they do have be like a brick wall in defense, but Space Station are there to annihilate that and break through the G2 flag and the army in itself. But might get a touch mid here, and Atomic is going to be there in time. I've seen quite a bit of Atomic so far, maybe not so much of his teammates, but JNaps is going to be a nice pre-jump there. What a redub about Atomic, almost does it the entire way, but G2 obviously were the team that came second last World Championship, and just like BDS, were looking like a bit of a weak team now and then, but maybe looking not as strong as they need to be right now, but there's still time, and who knows, G2 might have something off their sleeve, which we don't know about yet, but Atomic again gets a pass, and JNaps looking to get a reset. Might be a bit like realised, but this time Arsenal does hard challenge him out, and LJ is trying to get those extra touches to make his opponents a little bit awkward here and there. Nevertheless, here comes Hoxha, does get a nice touch, but I'd say right now that the G2, the way they're playing is defensive, but it's not like a patient defense, if that makes sense. It's more of like a defense that works rather than just, I mean, it can work, but not a defense that is like your thing outside the box as such. It's more of a defense that is just more routine, that isn't as routine. Like when you do routine, like you've got to still be able to fall back on stuff, and that's just something that G2 aren't really doing right now. And here comes Atomic again. Might get a 50 there, but Arsenal, few hard challenges, kind of emulating Odie a little bit, I'd say, except with Arsenal that he's being a lot more, say, smarter with it, and being a lot less like it just doesn't feel as doesn't feel as forced, if that makes sense. Get a touch there. Might be a chance for Arsenal, but that is going to be overtime now. I thought Space Station was winning, to be honest, but Space Station and G2 were in the overtime last game, to be specific, and this also does seem like a replica of what is happening, but regardless, I still think Space Station are looking good. I mean, could work out for G2 possibly, but I feel like Space Station have the momentum right now. Because G2, it can work, but it's not like a can work where I'm confident it'll work, if that makes sense. It's more of a can work, but probably won't work. That's the way I can describe it. Might be a touch there. Atomic is being nice defensive, because they're being defensive, but it's more like a rigid defense. It's like a defense that I feel like they can evolve out of. And does get another opportunity there. And here comes LJ with a little bit awkward, I'd say, actually, but Hoxer also full 100. He's going to be there in time. See, normally I would be like, oh yeah, should be getting big boost, but in that scenario, that was really smart by Hoxer. Hoxer used to be on Ghost Gaming, of course, but now he's on Space Station. Very underrated player, and I'd say he's one of the. He's not like an individually good player, but he's like that good player that is a team player at the same time. That makes sense, because you don't see him play ones or anything. But what a touch there! Hoxer takes game 2, and that is certainly what we need. A lot of patient gameplay there. But yeah, the thing I like about Space Station, there's no one like specific that's like extremely good. But like, it's not like when Daniel was on the team, when it was just clear who like the main individual player was. I'd say that Hoxer obviously is the main guy in the way, but it's not like an individually good play. He's just a main guy for the team, but like it doesn't feel like how Daniel was. And that's one reason why I like the team. Like, he is the main guy, but it's also a much more team based game, I'd say, compared to when Daniel was on there. It was like Daniel was the guy, but it just didn't feel like so much of a team. It felt a lot more individual plays. Whereas it just in Space Station right now, it feels a lot better. I like what I see, and yeah, Arsenal right there. He's got the hype needed. And to be honest, I mean, there was a few question marks about why Arsenal hasn't left and why they decided to replace Daniel rather than replace Arsenal. Because in reality, it probably would have been Hoxer goes instead of Arsenal instead of Daniel leaves to go. I mean, yes, he did leave for another team, which in really it just flopped. So Daniel obviously a bit unlucky in how it happened, but they did win the regional as well. So although they didn't make Worlds because of how poorly and they did, unfortunately, I'd still say that. I mean, look at G1 for example. Like, if EU didn't do so well, G1 wouldn't even be here. So we've got to put that into perspective, of course. But then again, NA. I mean, that is the only full NA team. I'm pretty sure Space Station is the only full North American team. Actually, there's G2 as well in there. Space Station and G2 are like the only two full teams, like two full NA teams. There's obviously Gen G is one North American and two English, and then Complexity is like Spanish, Argentinian, and Chilean. So, and there's only 5 teams, by the way, that went to the World Championship for North America, because North America just didn't really do that well, I can't lie. Because obviously Middle East, Rule 1 at the Spring Major just performed very well, and unfortunately they did lose to Vitality, but kept it very close despite being swept. And seeing so, Rule 1 were taking those teams. They did end up taking out North America's sixth spot, I should say, because the thing is, in North America, there's no like one team. I'd say the Space Station possibly are making the name for themselves. But Gen G is also pretty good. So there's Complexity. There is a few good teams, but the thing is, like, by now I would have I don't like to expect much, but I feel like Complexity Gen G did win a major, of course, but I feel like Complexity, for example, or even Space Station or something, to at least done something more than what they've done. Because yes, Complexity and Space Station have done well, but not to the point where it's dominating at all. It's just In fact, it's just quite average for them, I'd say. So I'd certainly say NA just needs to have more solidified top players because, I mean, when you're at Space Station getting first seed, I mean, at the time, they're proving it a little bit more now, but at the time, they were not first seed at all. They're like fourth seed at best, I can't lie. But what a shot there by J-Naps, though. But yeah, to see Space Station get qualifying first for the major was quite a shocker, really, because it shows you that the top teams are just not performing. I mean, FaZe and Gen G literally before battling it out to be the fifth seed. Like it's just unheard of. If you told me that 6 months ago, I'd be like, what? You're having a laugh, right? But even then, when I think of FaZe and Gen G as like the two teams to be battling it out for the Spring Major, I feel like who is honestly in front of them? I mean, obviously you had Furia and Optic, with two teams that did not make it to the World Championship due to their poor Spring Major performance. But who knows if we didn't see NA? I mean, even then, I feel like if Optic or Furia would have just actually stepped up at the major and didn't just go out as badly as they did, it could have been a lot different right now. I mean, I know it's a lot. I know it's very big to say, oh yeah, could have, should have. But the whole point is that I reckon Furia and Optic made it one more round. We would have seen 6 spots at NA regardless. We just wouldn't have seen version 1 probably wouldn't have made worlds regardless. Unless because Rule 1 was just a team that was Rule 1 probably did better than expected overall, but that against Vitality was a little bit disappointing, I can't lie. Like 4-0 sweep, I was expecting at least maybe a game or two. But like yes, it was really close, but at the same time they still lost every single game. And that was just a bit disappointing to see. And to be honest, Rule 1 losing against Vitality, I still don't feel like it was deserved for version 1 to not make worlds because of that. I feel like they should have only taken out the 7th spot or 6th spot for NA if Rule 1 lost against Vitality. But I guess that's how the season goes. I obviously haven't watched enough to be able to understand it to that extent, but G2 looking to take their first game here. And again, Atomic going on the wall. Might go for a risky player, but Arsenal again is so hard challenging. Very liking that, and a first game there. That's what they needed. G2 certainly what they needed. There's no doubt about that, of course. And does whack it home there. Maybe a bit of a recuperation here for Space Station because you don't want that on the cards that you're 3-1 down. I mean, plenty of leverage for them so far, but might just be a little bit of a hiccup for Space Station. It's not the end of the world if they let a game in. I mean, it's G2 Space Station. It's two of the back in like Season X. These two teams were like the best teams, but these days they are still the best. You can say they're the best teams, but it's harder to be able to see them up there because there's obviously quite a few other teams that are quite stacked here and there. I mean, Europe is just kind of falling apart, really. I mean, you've got the top, other than the top maybe 5, it's just not really, I mean, maybe top 5, 6. Apart from top 5, 6 in Europe, it's literally a washout, I can't lie. Maybe top 8, but things in North America, even up until like top 12, top 13, even up to like top 14, I'd say. I mean, there's normally like 2 teams in the NA that join the regionals, and they're like maybe a bit of Mickey teams. But in general, I'd say NA, the teams in NA are a lot more of a challenge, whereas in EU, it's like, oh yeah, the top teams will be the best teams in the world. But other than that, we just have the most Mickey teams ever. Like that's what I don't get about EU. It's like in NA, it's a lot more balanced, but in EU, it's like a lot more one-sided. But hey-ho. I guess in NA, I think the big thing for next season, I mean, is to be able to get at least a couple more stronger teams. Because yes, I felt G2. I mean, G2 was a strong team up until I'd say the winter spring major, to be honest, and so was quite a few teams. Go back for. I mean, Space Station has always sort of been there. They've always been pretty hard as a team, but I feel like they've also lost that sort of tightness to them. I feel like it's just more of a. I know they can probably get back and they can probably perform well again. Right now, though, they're just about holding it, because of the competition as well. Either the lack or too much competition. It's hard to see the teams in the way that in terms of the format as well. It's hard to see the teams in the way that they were, if that makes sense. But back in Season X, it was a lot easier to say, oh yeah, Team Envy or Optic, or I mean Team Envy's known as Optic now, or G2 or NRG or those sort of teams, or Space Station, those sort of top 4 teams at the time were very strong in NA. And then even below that, you still had quite a few strong teams, and that's like for EU right now. You have BDS, BDS, Liquid, Vitality, and KCOR, like 4 really strong teams. But the only difference is that you don't see they don't strike me as I mean, it might strike me as regular teams, but it's almost like NA went over from NA to EU in terms of the regular teams. Because the regular teams used to be in NA, but now it seems like EU. But the only thing about EU is that I feel that the teams in EU are a lot more compromised than they are in NA. In NA, it'd be a lot better to see. Yes, NA EU can be better than NA if it wants. It's more that EU is just. I prefer to see more high stake teams in NA than EU, just because of the whole in NA the whole support for NA teams is a lot bigger, a lot more diverse, and a lot more supportive than EU. So I prefer that G2 Space Station, even NRG and Complexity and Gen G, those sort of teams, I'd like to see them as long-standing teams. Because Gen G was a long-standing team. They were a strong team, obviously, but yes, they did well in the first regional, first major or first split, I should say, in terms of full. But then winter, I'd say, to be honest, Gen G is one of the few teams in NA that has sort of stuck to it. But the only thing by Gen G is that I feel like they've passed their peak, and they're not yes they've won and stuff. Yes, they can still get good results, but once they've got through those easier teams, I feel like once they get a genuinely hard team, I just don't see them winning these days. I see them getting well in the tournament, but once they get a hard team, I just don't see them winning it. Or if they do win against that one hard team, they'll just go and get battered by the next hard team. But nevertheless, we have got Space Station looking to take a third game, but G2 is also, as you can see, is preventing that from occurring. But we did see an upset. Asia did beat EU in the previous series, which is absolutely diabolically insane to see. But of course, again, G2 and Space Station, the last 2 standing full North American teams of the entire world in terms of the high teams in RLCS, the ones that actually do compete at majors and all that, because of course Gen G and FaZe as well. Actually, I forgot about FaZe. FaZe is a full American team. I can't believe I actually forgot about that, guys. I can't even know what actually said to me that I forgot about that. FaZe as well. FaZe is probably that's the thing about FaZe, that they are technically a strong, long-standing team, but the only problem is that they didn't make the spring major. And when you're not even making the major at all, that can be seen as a problem. But what a save there as well by LJ. Gets a few bumps here. Might just be it off the post again. That post is like a curse, I'm pretty sure. Actually crazy. That's 3-4 times I've seen today where it goes off the post, just almost goes in, but just doesn't seem to execute. That could be what a save there again by Atomic. And a lot of redirects here by G2. Maybe need to ground their game a bit more. if they want to solidify this. But then again, it could also be getting the guard off, because Arsenal, we have seen him going for a lot of, I'd say, a lot of hard challenges in this series. And when G2 are playing that very high in the air sort of gameplay, I'd say it's a lot harder for Space Station to be able to capitalize on that. And here they go again. But Hoxha as well. Look, Hoxha is like the thing with Hoxha. There's a lot of you like question that, oh, what, why they leave Daniel, and that Daniel was too thing. The thing with Hoxha is that he's like the main guy, but he's like not the main guy. If that makes sense, he feels more of a, like, he's the main guy, but he's also like a really good team player. If that makes sense. So I don't see Hoxha as like a prodigy. I don't see him as someone who is like the main guy who clutches up for the team, but I do see him as like a main guy that, like, it only at like worst case scenario if you have to look at a main guy. Otherwise, I see Spacia as a very even team, and if I only have to pick out Hoxha if I say like, oh, who's the main man. That's only at worst case scenario. I can't lie. That's what I like to see, because when you've got that evenness, it just doesn't, like, not only in the terms of where you play, but also in terms of how much you like push and who does what. The whole way that everyone plays, you're not like forcing how to play. You're not making sure that like you're doing the most and the other person isn't doing enough. It's good to see. Like, it's a relief more to see Space Station the way they are compared to when they had Daniel on. I can't lie. But G2 again, solidifying that 1-0 and 1 minute left. But I don't think that Space Station are going to be able to get out of this one, regardless of the time left. I feel like G2 have certainly got this game in the bag. I'd be surprised if it does not work out for them. Barcelona with a pinch there. And Space Station, oh my days, what a shot by LJ! And to be honest, I thought that was a bit of a risky play, but that's what G1 were doing, except G1 got to get those double taps like that. And that's why LJ is LJ on Space Station. That's why Space Station don't go out, because the thing is that they go for risky plays, but they could also work out on it. And then also now to come back from it are probably a lot better. In the documentary I was watching, like, regardless of if they win or lose, like, they'll have a bad time, but they'll just laugh it off full sign eventually. Because if you're just getting angry, if you're just kicking people from the team because of a bad split or something like that, even when getting high performing wins, like, even though Space Station never really win anything, I'd certainly say I feel something good for them. I really do. With this one. I was saying, even if you don't win, you still get getting really good placings. Keeps the brand alive. It keeps the team performing well, getting enough money, getting all that sort of stuff. So and just getting the brand as a regular logo for RLCS is something a lot better than having to just do well one event and then barely even qualify the next. Just like a bit like V1 did. So those sort of things you just got to question. I feel like G2 are going to take this one. It's going to be a boring series, I can't lie, guys. It's going to be a boring series. It's probably going to go to like game 6, I'd say. I have no idea exactly who's going to win. I'd like to think Space Station, but I feel like G2 might just clutch up. They might. I'm not saying they will, I'm saying they might. It's any of you the trolls in the chat like, oh, he was wrong the entire time. And this could be a chance here for G2, but no, Arzen is going to be right back there. Oh my days, I'm actually dead right now. I'm actually dead, bro. Alright, here comes LG again. LG certainly showing that he is a player. And he's here. They made it so awkward. Space Station get the third game here. One more to be able to solidify that really most definitely needed series to be able to solidify their chance of making it through the wild card. I mean, even if whoever wins this, I'm pretty sure does literally get 9th to 11th at least in wildcards. So of course both teams could still go out, but to go 9th to 11th at the minimum is certainly a dub. Because you can't say that you did terribly. Because although you might have come like 17th to 19th, I'd still say that getting this dub here could be crucial. But then again, for G2, if they do lose, then it's not going to be the end of the world for them. They've still got plenty of time. You can literally lose 2 series if you want, and then make a comeback. It's just how it is. It is what it is. But Space Station now, I want to see them do well. Arsenal with a good game there. They're getting ready for that. Reads a lot of self-improvement books. That's quite good. That's something I'd like to do, actually. That's something I do, actually. I'm pretty sure. 4 years, 10 months as pro. So he's not been live. He's been pro since about September, October 2018. So that is quite a while to be pro for, I must say. And here we go, game 5 now. This might just be it for the entire series, but of course we are not going to rule it out just yet. As thing is though, I think my Space Station bias is keeping the head of me right now, because the thing is, if I can say right now, oh yeah, Space Station is going to win, but I feel like I'm going to jinx it with my bias. So I'm not going to jinx anything yet. I feel like GT are going to get a bit of a boring game. Probably going to get really good, make it as long as possible in the game 6, and then Space Station. Thing is though, game 7 would be too exciting, so I feel that like it's going to be as long as possible in not this game, but the next game. I'm actually going to be like falling asleep. Not that I am already. Okay, so 1 minute in, and still 0-0. But plenty of time to play, of course. Let's get a touch here. Come on, Space Station, just finish it out. Oh my god, I actually feel so dead right now. Atomic with a 50. That's not going to be quite there, but they'll get a touch again. This could be the opportunity to be able to take dubs. Okay, another save by LJ. Probably got quite a few clearances or saves so far, which is really promising. But of course, Chicago is going to overcommit. There could be a chance, but LJ is going to be way back. Gets a pass there, and Arsenal does need to go back here. Otherwise, it is just going to be a little bit risky if they do end up doing any of that sort of stuff. But Hoxer getting a touch again. And here he comes for a 50. Might just work. But no, Atomic is getting a clearance there. And J-Naps going the entire way here. And as it stands, Atomic with the first goal, though. Must see the goal, but come on, guys. I can't lie. I don't want to see the most boring series ever. I'm already falling asleep a bit. Like, I swear, if G2 win this and then like make it like a 5-minute overtime after this one, and then Space Station still win, like I'm probably not gonna be happy. To be honest, even though Space Station won, I'm probably not gonna be happy because I really can't be asked for it to go as long as possible. The thing is, though, Game 7 can be exciting though, so I can't really hate on Game 7. Alright, and what a touch there as well. J-Naps the entire way. And what a shot there. Nice little edgeable from him. And he does not hesitate to do so. 2-0 as it stands. Plenty of time to go. But come on, Space Station. I just want to see you guys get it done. Get it over with. Because I don't really want to see a 6-7 game series right now. I can't lie. Not because I don't enjoy it, but because I'm kind of falling asleep for some reason. And I'll still try and get a 50 there. I'll check the chat again in a second, but G2, I'd certainly say they're probably not going to win the series, but I'd be surprised if they won the series. But they're probably going to take unless Space Station somehow makes a comeback here. I certainly see G2 making a comeback like so. And LJ with one back here. That's one they certainly needed. Two of their best they just need out, and then it is certainly solidified for them. But whether they'll be able to do that or not is another question. Stream again. Come on, Space Station. We just need one more. I'd certainly say that it is not going to work for Space Station this time. G2's defense is certainly tightening up there, and they're not going to be letting it go anytime soon. But Chicago also waiting there like a little chimp, I'd say. Just patient chimp, I'd call him. Whoa. Oh my god, it's so close. Come on, that might just be it. Arsenal, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Bum. Oh, I thought he probably trusted his teammates a little bit too much there. It is going to be 3-2 now. The thing is, though, Game 7 would be exciting. It's just that, it could also be a bit boring as well. It could also be a bit boring. I can't lie. I swear, if I see like a 10-minute overtime now, yes, it's going to be extremely exciting, but it's also be quite boring because this series has gone along as long as it almost can. Unless G2 win one more, it's literally going to go as long as it can. I get these two like the Titans of NA, but come on, man. Some of the Titans, because obviously you got FaZe as well, who I thought, in terms of full Americans, this is two of the three teams. If any of you did not know that, but Arsenal maybe not the best game ever there. All right, J Nap's ready to get that. Here we go, guys, though. What an absolute chance we have here to be able to see something really good. Oh, there we go. But I really want to see Space Station do well. That's the thing. I can't lie. If I just see him completely bot on it, I'm not gonna be too happy. Not too happy anyway. We are right back again. There might be a shot, but a little bit high there. And does continue their run. Boom. Alright, let's get back on the stream though. Okay, as it stands, I'd certainly say that we are... Oh, hello again, Mr. RizQ. Sorry, we were just looking on sign, but we are here with Space Station and G2. And Space Station were looking like the favourites, but now G2 have really solidified their very patient defense, I'd say. And it is certainly working to some extent for them, but Space Station still looking to be able to push as far as they can. I get a cut there. It is going to be there in time. And that might be it again, but no, what a save. And I feel like Space Station, unfortunately, because it is the most boring NA series ever. Well, the most, not boring, I mean, rephrase that. The most classic NA series ever. It probably has to go to Game 7, doesn't it? But who knows? They might have got better, but what a save there by Arsenal, and LJ somehow got the save at the same time. But G2 throwing it at the defense right now.
They're trying to out-pressure Space Station Gaming, but Space Station Gaming find themselves some breathing room.
Indeed, they do find some breathing room, but Chicago there. Oh, what a air dribble by him. A little bit too high, though. JNAP's tie away, possibly, but no. Hoxer does get a save there as Chicago past the JNAP's open net, but no, JNAP's couldn't seem to get there, but Hoxer again on the backboard. And what a save again by Arsenal. Space Station being absolutely electric with the saves right now. And here comes Chicago again. Don't worry, he's booming up there because LJ is right there. He almost knew that it was going to be there. Very telepathic, but I'd say G2 though, they've got all the shots going at them, all the shots, and I think now it's more about Space Station being patient for G2 to overcommit and just get a chance. But I feel like G2's their offense was just a bit too strong there. They just kept smacking it and smacking it and smacking it. Like it would have taken a miracle for Space Station to get a goal out of that. I can't lie. I mean, I know that they were still being patient in that, but G2 just felt on that edge that time. Here comes again, flick. Chance, oh no, what a miss, but no, touch again, but no! Oh no, that's a bit of a miss, that's going to be open net. And that is a absolute blunder by Space Station there. All three of the players got chances, and all three of them missed. And that is a blunder that Space Station really want to forget. Game 7, we are probably going to be going, unless Space Station can prove me wrong in 48 seconds. Let's get it. That almost a third there. But Space Station have been good on defense, but it's like a defense that they can adapt on. It's just like the saves are there, but I don't think that the way that they're saving it, so they're not going to be able to get the chance to be able to continue their momentum. It's more just like more like saves. But again, but Atomic, they had the saves there, but they didn't have momentum, and that's something you need to do when you're saving. You've got to have some sort of momentum there, and that's something that Space Station haven't had. But nevertheless, we probably shall be seeing a Game 7. Just like so. Had to go all the way down to the wire, didn't it? Yes, it's going to be exciting. But we probably don't want to be seeing the too long overtime. Oh, wow. LJ with the air dribble there. So ever since realised that really good air dribble, I swear everyone's been doing that, or Cammy, I should say. Well, yeah, realised, and then it went on to Cammy, and then it went on to everyone else. But LJ's certainly been showing himself to be one of the main guys. Just, I mean, to be honest, Space Station, they're all having their good moments, I'd say. I mean, even Arsenal, to be honest, I feel like there's certainly a good place where you see Arsenal doing, but G2 does take it, and we are going to our first Game 7 of this entire event.
Wild card.
And what a performance has it been from G2 down 1-3 in the series, able to bring it back and claw their way into this Game 7. Space Station Gaming had everything going for them, but once G2 figured out their game plan, breaking SSG down and making them uncomfortable on defense and then keeping up that offensive presence, it just feels like it's been all G2 ever since.
5 goals from Atomic after he had kind of a slower start to the series. He has come alive. 4 goals recently for G2 Esports, including the hat trick here that puts G2 and Space Station onto Champions Field.
That was
In
a really
Houston,
good shot.
we have a problem. Space Station Gaming has called a timeout. Before we get into Game 7, to try to slow things down, talk things over. You see Sad Jr. already, he's yapping. He's getting
Space
to the gears.
Station, we
If
want
there's
to see
anyone
it.
who has the experience to get SSG out of this situation, it's going to be him.
Yes, sir. And he's had, as a player, he had plenty of clashes with JNaps in his career. And now he's staring across at him going, how did he still get to play and I'm back here now as a coach? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
He's of course looking at the future of Rocket League Esports across in front of him. Been phenomenal in this series, but he's got to step it up because had a few critical misses that have helped this comeback effort out of G2.
We're sitting here in the RLCS wild card stage, and
Come on,
even
let's see
with
something
G2
good out
and
of this.
Matthew, their coach behind
Let's go,
them,
guys.
There's just so much history, so much experience on both sides, and of course, at the World Championship, where players are looking to put themselves in the rafters, times like this define a lot when it comes down to it.
Sad Junior's
I
name
feel like
is
Space
up
Station
in
are
those
going to be able
rafters,
to
right
deny
under
it.
a
I feel like there's
legendary
some sort
trio
of
from the
deny.
old
I don't think it's
Cloud9.
going to be close to it. I feel like it's
Lifted
going to
the
be like a
trophy in
4-2.
Las Vegas back in
Or it's either
2018.
G2. I feel like this next
Now
game is
his
going to be
team,
one-sided. I
Space
don't think...
Station.
I
He's the
feel like it's going to be a
trying to
complete
get them
upset.
across G2.
I don't know exactly which team
Here
it is.
we
but
go. Can G2
I don't think it's gonna be
complete
close.
the comeback? They have not
I don't
lost
think it's going to be
a
close.
Game 7 this season. 2-0 so far. What will give between G2 and SSG? It's Arsenal keeping that out of the center. He
I
may
feel
have
like
given it away to
whoever
Chicago, but he
scores
forced him to
first,
retreat in
I feel like he's
Chicago.
gonna win
Just
the
gathers
entire
that off to the side.
series.
LJ to
Like, there's
follow
no
up.
doubt.
What
mate.
has that timeout done for him? Is his confidence going to be back, or will he still be rattled
Whoever
here
team
on
wins,
Champ
scores
Field?
first,
We're looking
is
at a
going
big
to win
clash
the
here
entire
between these
series.
two. This
I
could
don't
go
even care.
any direction. Right now, though, SSG with the opening possession, and you're seeing G2 start to strike back. Did SSG during the timeout, have they figured out a way past G2 when they have that strong offense? LJ's got to get up quickly, and will send that one
catch, yeah.
wayside. But again, that midfield line, G2 has held onto that near and dear. It's really hard for SSG to get chances to break out.
Oxer twirling through, can't stay with it, and Atomic makes sure there's no rebound anyways. Got it off to the side, there is Arsenal, and that ricochets
Goes
downfield.
here, but
LJ doing all he
be
can
there
to catch
because
up with it.
have a little chat ourselves as well. So we are going to say that Space Station is maybe not looking too strong, especially after those last few games. But of course, JNaps and co looking to take that third game in a row now. Does maybe get a double, but no, again another save, and what? Very back and forth, I'd say. I mean, these two teams have been historically known to play against each other, but right now though, that this is closer than probably what, especially Space Station, we're looking for. But G2, as Lucasa was saying, they've not lost any best of 7 so far, so it's going to be interesting about this one. But a bit of a hesitation there, and Hoxer is going to get another touch there as well. But here comes Arsenal, gets a pass, get all the way over, but no save again. But G2's defense looks almost impenetrable. That's the only way I can say for it. And save there, but no save again. It's like G2 don't even have to save it, but just as I say that, I kind of jinxed it, as all these touches. Like I was saying, it's almost as if G2, every time you shoot at them, even if you don't shoot, even if they're not in the net, it seems to just deflect off them. But doesn't seem the case. They are certainly beatable, but whether Space Station can continue that run and do it on the day is our next question. But might get a 50 there. Might be a goal at Chicago in. But as I say, I will stick by my word. The team to score first, I feel, is going to take this series. Just have a feeling, guys. And here we go. 2 minutes 32 left. About half the game left now. So still time for any team to take it. But I feel something good for Space Station here. Unless G2 can get a very big punish. I can imagine. The thing with Space Station is that, yes, I've seen a documentary about getting back, but it's hard because both teams, I feel like both teams, no matter what team loses, I feel like they're both going to be mentally affected. But I have to say that if Space Station lost, it'd probably be, from what I know, I'm pretty sure Space Station would be able to get out of it better than G2. Because G2, like, they do not too great, and then I don't really hear too much of them ever like getting out of it. Like, they get a bit out of it, but when they get out of it, they normally still don't perform. Like, they don't get the very high levels. Whereas I feel like Space Station is probably more of that. Actually, I can't say Space Station, but other teams like Gen G or something, or Complexity or something like that, when they have their like lows, I'd still say they can still manage to get out being high. But the thing with G2 is that they never like fall off, but like when they do bad, they normally like get a bit better, but they don't get like anything exciting better. Like they never really have done. And 1-1 here, you couldn't ask for much closer. And what an absolute classico we have right now. But as I will say, guys, people who seem to think, oh yeah, you're gonna go out immediately when you lose this. You don't go out when you lose this. It just makes it a lot harder for you to be able to qualify. I'm pretty sure whoever does win this one though is almost qualified for the main event. But yeah, most likely one of these teams will be if not both these teams will be very much qualified for the main event. It's just whoever does win this is getting to the main event regardless. It'd be extremely crazy if both these teams didn't make the main event. I'd be so crazy. Like, even both these teams, regardless, whoever wins or loses will make main event. That's there should be any question on that. If even one of these teams in main event, I'd be extremely surprised. But that's a bit of a double there. Needs to be careful. Oh no, that's not good. But just getting that's good from LJ. But it still keeps it up. Oh my god, J-Naps. Got a chance for that. If we go a bit overtime, please don't go like 10-minute overtime. I haven't got time for that. But I have got time to say that we do definitely have overtime. And couldn't get closer to this, guys.
Out for SSG. Golden goal to go to G2. Well,
it'd be 2-0 for whoever does win, meaning that even if you do terrible after that, it's still 9th to 11th at minimum. Oh, well, what a save though by LJ! And I can't even imagine. Oh, don't look at that again. That was actually some of the most intense games ever. But J-Lab scores! And they do get through. And I can't believe it. G2 take it against SSG. I was not expecting that. I thought that Space Station was going to take it. But no, they do it.
More motivated to get back on the main stage.
Wow. That's the thing now. I feel like Space Station will be able to get back out of it. It's not going to be an easy run, though. Certainly not going to be too easy, but certainly possible. As G2 take it, worth 3-1 down, now 4-3 up. Must be very painful for Space Station to take, but they know they can do it again. And a bit unfortunate for Space Station, but they're down but not out. I know they can get back out of this. It's just a series that they just want to forget. I can't lie, but that'll probably be it for now, I'm pretty sure. Arsenal isn't too happy about that. He's probably just zoning out a little bit. And G2 does get the dub, so they are already minimum of 9th to 11th in the wildcard or 17th to 19th in the World Championship now. So there's not too much to be sad about there. And NRG's new third, apparently, is coming up. And what a series from that so far. We'll tie up a little bit, actually.
Victorious G2 squad. What a show we've had on day 2.
Atomic and Co. bringing in a pretty atomic performance, if I do say so myself, being 3-1 down. Clean sweep, bringing it back very, very comfortably for yourself and the team as well. What was the turning point for you guys?
I think for us it was when we won on the 5th map. We knew that now the pressure shifted to them, because if you have a 3-1 lead and you don't close it out, you know, everybody's like, you can't throw a 3-1 lead. So we knew we just had to keep playing how we were playing and keep dominating, and it would eventually pay off.
Well, you guys obviously came second during the RLCS World Championships. Unfortunate for you boys, but what has been done between then and now to make sure this time around you walk away victorious?
I think this time we've just been playing the game so much more. Like before, we just sort of coasted a bit, and now we've really decided to put in the time, and it's been showing.
You're gonna tell me how many hours you get every day? Go on, tell me.
I mean, it's like 3 hours, 4 hours of team practice, and then we've all been playing like another 4 hours by ourselves. So
8 hours, beautiful stuff. So obviously there's been this ongoing discussion of the MENA region and how absolutely terrifying it is for a bunch of you players. NA and MENA now making the 2-0 results. Talk to me about what you've made so far of the MENA region's performance.
we've scrimmed Twisted Minds and we scrimmed Falcons. The Falcons are always like one of the best teams in scrims. Like they're super disciplined, and if you want to take a game off them, like you have to pop off individually. So with Twisted Minds, it's the same thing. Like they play very similarly, and it's like all those teams, they're just so their decision making is like so consistent that it's really hard to beat them.
Well, ahead of tomorrow's matchups, do you know who you're playing? Because I know. You want to know who you're playing? You're not playing Twisted Minds. No, you're playing Complexity. Okay, so what is the game plan between the moment you leave this venue and tomorrow's matchup? What are you guys going to get up to?
We're probably going to regroup, probably eat something because we're pretty hungry, and then look at how Complexity played today, and then try to think about how we can alter a game plan a little bit to adjust for them, but overall keep how we're playing pretty the same, I think.
Dare I ask you for a prediction of how you think tomorrow's going to go versus Complexity?
I think we could 4-2 us. I think we're going to be a little more cleaner at the start than today. Today was a bit sloppy at the start, but after playing and getting the nerves out, I think we can 4-2.
I'm liking it. Thank you so much for joining me, and congrats once again.
We had to go all the way to Championship Sunday at the last World Championship before a team that managed to get on match point lost. The first team that managed to get on match point lost here, we already have it on day 2.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, it was a fun narrative last time, but I don't like it when the script makers like to go back for back.
I don't like when I know what's going to happen after match point has been secured.
We also had a wild card that was full of 4-0s and 4-1s.
We did.
What a day this has been.
Game 7 overtime.
Yeah, this is the most exciting match of the day. I had predicted SSG.